welcome to this new video of us. Today I'm speaking to the founder of Tykr, Sean, and we'll talk about the platform itself. Tykr is a new client of the Bavest API. We will also talk about why did Tykr switch to Bavest, and later on we'll talk about how is Tykr built up and what you can actually do with Tykr. So let's start, Sean. Welcome.
Ramtin, good to be here. Thank you.
So, Sean, first question, why did you switch to our API? Are there several points you would say that are like the main reasons, or what's the actual problem you had with other companies?
Yeah, so the key reason why we wanted to switch to Bavest is because of our customers. And long story short, as of the recording of this video, Tykr has a little over 10,000 retail investors around the world in about 50 countries. And we get people coming to us all the time asking for more stocks in their country. So with our current setup, we use a few providers, not one provider, but a few providers that get us about 40,000 stocks, about 1,500 ETFs, which is pretty good. We can help a lot of people, but after talking to you, based on the numbers, I was like, we can take that 40 to 60 plus thousand stocks and go from 1,500 to about 6,000 ETFs or more, even add mutual funds, which is an added benefit. And the big one with you guys is real-time pricing. I can't tell you, we've got a roadmap tool that people upvote their most requested features, and that is number one, real-time pricing. And not too many people can do that. So you do everything for us. So that's why we're very pleased to move forward with working with Bavest.
Awesome. And if it's right, if I describe your platform as the Duolingo for investment or investing, is that right? Or could you explain?
I would love to be called that.
Awesome. And could you explain like the history? Why did you found Tykr? What was
Sure.
like your own problem or of your people you knew in terms of investing? And yeah, tell us a little bit more about that.
You got it. I won't keep the story too long, but it is somewhat entertaining, and I think a few of the listeners will find the same pain points. So my background is actually primarily in tech. I had my first company in the 2000s, just building software and websites for small and mid-sized businesses, and we went through a merger in 2010. And at that point, I wanted to get more into investing. However, the tools at the time, there was nothing really that gave you like a traffic light rating, like green light, red light. Nothing's out there. And I kind of did a little angel investing. I did some stock investing, but I never found great results until about 2015 or 16. I told myself, I need to do this like the right way, the Warren Buffett, the Charlie Munger, like value investing. And I
Yeah,
knew those guys, as we both know, they're not using emotions or using feelings
correct.
yet. Warren
Yeah,
Buffett has said if he were managing $10 million or less, he could make 50% per year. And I'm like, well, that's quite a steep claim. But I knew, like, okay, coming from somebody who doesn't gamble and doesn't use emotions, this tells us he's using math. So I created an Excel sheet. I have to give all the credit to Warren, to Charlie, and to another guy by the name of Phil Town. And I used this Excel sheet for about 4 years, making returns in the market that were between 15 and 50%. And it was essentially a tool where I would look at the fundamentals, usually 5 years of data. If I can't get 5 years, try to go a few quarters. And I would plug them into this Excel sheet. It would take me 10 minutes to analyze one stock. I would go screen left to screen right. But at the end of it, I had a traffic light rating, whether it was good or bad. In our system, we call it on sale or overpriced. 2019 comes around and I start sharing this Excel sheet with a few people, retail investors, just regular guys like you and I, and they're like, you should turn this into a software. So it took about a year to build the first version. Then it took 6 months to get the first paying customer, but I know that's how it goes when you're building
yeah, right.
software. But yeah, fast forward to today, like I said, we've got a little over 10,000 customers. And our business model, we're not a broker, so we're not like Robinhood or, where you're at in Germany, DeGiro's big,
Yeah,
and Europe,
right.
eToro's
Yeah,
big. Yep. So we are a screener and educational platform all in one. So we kind of take the Duolingo elements to make it really easy for people to get up to speed And then the analysis part, it is, some people kind of look at us comparative to like a Seeking Alpha or simply Wall Street. So you can log in, you can screen for any stock or ETF, and you can know in seconds, is that actually a good investment or not? Like today, I can tell you, like everybody's searching for Nvidia and
Yeah,
Tesla and
sure.
right?
Right.
So
Yeah,
in our
makes sense.
demographic, I'll stop here in a second. We're about 80% newbies. So we get a lot of people who are completely new and about 20% more sophisticated investors. And they use our tool to really just save time.
Awesome, really cool. And your users, are they global based? Are they more like
Mhm.
from North America? What's the mixture there?
Yeah, I'll kind of give you the breakdown. So as of here in late 24, it's about 50% of the US where I'm based. And then second place is actually 11% in India. Third place is about 7% in Canada. And then from there, it's, I mean, all over Europe. So Germany, France, Switzerland, Poland, the UK, those are the big players there. And then we actually, South Asia is growing really fast. So think Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and then you go down to the South Pacific, you got
Yeah.
Australia and New Zealand. So we are spread out around the world. And thanks to you guys, like you have that data set, a nice footprint around the globe, because we'll get people from smaller markets, smaller countries be like, you actually have stocks from our country, and we're like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we can help you out.
I can imagine when, if you look at emerging markets and like the normal people get a little bit more wealthy and start thinking about how to invest actually their money, I think a platform like you is like the perfect start to get going with investing. So now we talked a lot about Tykr and the platform, but Sean, if you like, would you like to show us a little bit around in the platform?
Absolutely. I'll
Awesome.
I'll show you how this works, how our rating system works. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Can you see okay?
Yeah, everything good.
Okay. All right. So with our platform, I won't keep this menu open too long, but we've got everything in here from stocks, ETFs, even crypto. We've got watch list tool where you have add stocks to it. If anything changes, you automatically get notified. A lot of customers love that. We've got a portfolio tracker. That's a very sticky feature people rely on. But I'll get right into the how we look at stocks, and then I'll show you a feature that's back testing that we're actually starting to help out some institutions. We're talking to mutual funds and larger institutions that are really creating products for their customers and how they can use Tykr. Here's an example of one of our top search stocks, which is Nvidia. And we have a really simple, like I said, rating system. Stocks are either on sale, watch, or overpriced. And only about 15% of stocks in the market make it to this level on sale. In order to get there, you have to have a score of 100, or I'm sorry, 50 out of 100, and then a margin of safety of 50% or higher. And the numbers behind here you can actually read. If anybody's interested, they can go to tykr.com. Our education section has a calculation. So we do
Ah,
phrase it
awesome.
as
Okay.
our
Yeah,
calculations are open source. You can
cool.
see all the math. You can put it into Excel.
That's really good because sometimes some companies say they have a really special thing going on, but they don't say how actually is it
Yeah.
calculated there. Yeah.
And I'll summarize it right now. So with the score, we use 8 lines, and I'll just summarize them right now. We look at on the income statement, the revenue, net income, and EPS, and we look at the growth rates quarter over quarter and year over year over 5 years. If we can't get 5 years, like if it's a newer IPO, we'll try to look at like a few quarters, I think like 2 or 3 minimum. Otherwise, if we can't get that many, then we just disregard the stock. They won't show. But that's 3 on the income statement, 1 line on the cash flow statement, which is free cash, and then 4 lines on the balance sheet. And you want to see all lines moving or moving up, except for liabilities and debts. You ideally
Right.
want to
Yeah.
see moving down. And then with the margin of safety, we use, and this is inspired by Phil Town, we use the EPS growth rate. The higher the margin of safety, it tells you, here's an example. If you go to EPS, shows you that EPS is growing much faster. And if anybody's interested, we do compare against. We have the projections tab, which compares against, Phil Town. We're going to be very similar, his Rule 1 brand. We also have the Graham equation, and then there's discounted cash flow. Instead of jumping to other platforms, you can stay right in Tykr. As you can see, Tykr has a lot of other features like analyst ratings. We pull from other sources. We've got like ratios. People love
So,
that.
Sean, one question. So let's imagine I'm
Mhm.
beginning to invest and I see all these different metrics and I'm like, okay, where to start actually? What would you say, what's the right way to use Ticker? Which like sub pages are the right
Yep.
site to look into it?
We went through onboarding. We educate you high level on the tool. It takes about 60 seconds to get through. And then the end of the onboarding drives you to the checklist. And this is like the key, and it's super easy. You can see here, we try to gamify the experience like Duolingo. So the goal is try to complete this checklist in 14 days or less. And our model on the B2C side, it's really easy. It's just a 14-day free trial, no credit card required. But then after that, our prices start at like $15 per month or $99 a year. That's US dollars. I won't go into detail, but we use what's called parity pricing around the globe. So if you're from India, you're going to see rupees, you'll pay in rupees, and
Awesome.
you will
Yeah.
see an appropriate converted price. Same thing in euros. So it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to see those prices. But anyway, you get here, and then it gives you like insight. So over 90% of Tykr customers who complete this checklist are able to confidently buy and sell stocks within 30 days. And we've done extensive surveys talking to people, and it's actually higher than 90, but we just wanted to play it safe here. So here are the really the 6 key steps, and it's really 5. You don't need to do the last one, but it's join the mobile app or web app, because we have iOS and Android, and of course a web app. So that's already done. You create your first watch list, which is actually done in your onboarding. So these 2 boxes are, without much effort, you're already making progress. And then we have educational modules, which are currently in the mobile app. We will add them to the web app, but they're kind of like Duolingo. Probably take like 10, 15 minutes and get through them all, but I'll teach you how to use the tool, how the ratings work, all that fun stuff. Then you get here, sign up for a broker. You can select what broker you use around the world. I use Schwab. Then create your first portfolio. Of course, we all want to make money. There are people that
Yeah.
with brokers have a problem, and we are talking to brokers about this, where they get a lot of people who join and they'll invest like between $100 and $1,000 or euros if they're in Europe, and they'll sit. They'll sit for 3 months. They'll sit for 6 months. They'll sit for a year and not do anything. So we're actually helping. We're in conversation right now with brokers to help more of their people buy more, because everything we do leads up to one word, which is confidence. People want more confidence. All right, so create a portfolio, and then you can set alerts. You can set alerts on everything from the price changes, summary changes, score changes, all that good stuff. But yeah, if you get through this,
Awesome.
you are good to
And
go.
but Ticker is also built like this. If I'm a little bit more like a pro, I could go really in depth, right? So you showed it already. You have so many different data sets, financials.
Mm-hmm.
On top, you have like the Ticker scores and so on. So if I want, I can go really deep, right? So it's both for beginners,
Correct.
but also for pros.
Correct. You are 100% correct, and that's why 20% of our audience, they use our tool to save time. If I can, I want to show you something that it's the back testing feature we just launched that really shows how does Tykr actually perform in the market. And if you go here to the left navigation menu, it's back testing, and you can see different buckets. So this example is on sale stocks, 4M score of 70, and large cap. And I'll define what the 4Ms are. That's really inspired by Phil Town. The first M is the math part of investing. That's the fundamentals. The second M is the meaning. That's the business model. How does it make money, and how scalable are the revenue streams? Third M is the moat. How does it compare to the competition? And the last M is the management. That's the track record of the CEO. And to do homework on all 4 could take an analyst, hours, if
Yeah,
not days.
right.
We use OpenAI, and we reduce that down to
Awesome.
seconds. So you can see here, looking at the S&P 500, 95% on the S&P 500. This bundle here, 264%.
Wow.
And you can see though, yeah, it's our customers without a lot of effort, they're picking stocks in this criteria, and they are beating the market. We've got complete newbies that are beating the market by a long shot. You can see what stocks are, of course, in that bundle. Another, like here's Watch, not as good, but still doing very well. 161 in this case against the 195. Here's on sale, so no 4M score, on sale, large cap, 167 versus 95. And I even, for fun, in about 30 seconds, I created my own tech ETF. And look at this, 269 versus
Wow.
95. You can see what's
So
down
a
there.
lot of
So
automated like code in the back that takes all the like work that you don't like to do actually.
we were joking with some analysts at a larger company, and the joke was you could literally finish your week of analysis by Monday at noon and then go play golf or tennis or pickleball the rest of the week. And they got a laugh out of that. But it's like, seriously, I created the tool in the first place because I don't want to sit on my computer
Yeah.
analyzing stocks. I want the software to do it for me. And now people, retail investors and institutions are seeing it the same way.
So basically you solved your own problem. Now you have 10K users. What's the next step for Tykr, or like in 10 or like in the next years, where would you like to be with Tykr?
Yeah.
What's the vision?
Well, I look at what's happening in the market, and I did an analysis. This took a minute, but there are about 400 million retail investors in about 17 countries. I stopped after 17 because I'm like, okay, we've got a large enough TAM here, but there are people joining the market every day, either because they see something on YouTube or hear something from a friend
Right.
or a
Yeah.
family member, read something on Reddit or X or whatever, and then they join a broker, and after that, they have no idea what they're doing.
Right.
So we come in between, the broker and that investor. That's the B2C side. We're super excited where we're going with there because 400 million, we know we can get to 1 million subscribers. That is very much in the realm of
100%.
possibility.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
On
more than
the
that. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. We can, with your help, I mean, we could go multi-million subs. On the institutional side, we're very excited about where that's going because these, like, for example, one mutual fund is like, we can not only save time, but we can actually build better products that are generating more alpha for our customers. And I'm like, you just did the pitch for me. I'm going to have you be in my new pitch,
For sure.
essentially.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So,
So
yeah.
basically, I mean, we have a lot of clients that are asset managers, family offices, and it's crazy that you don't think so, but sometimes they say, okay, there are features missing in Bloomberg Terminal or Refinitiv. Even the platforms are really built out in the last years, but sometimes I think you need fresh ideas like Tykr that bring like disruption into the market. So Sean, thank you very much for the time showing us Tykr today. And we're really excited to see what you will build in the next months and years with Tykr.
Thanks, Ramtin.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.